Caleb here, and we're back again with some Red Knot. We're still in Goosebumps month, and this time I have Bad Hair Day. Cover looks pretty cool. That'd be scary for a kid. It's like a weird looking evil bunny coming out of a hat. And it says he's no Easter bunny. He doesn't look like he has colored eggs or anything like that. So let's see. The back says, pick a scare, any scare. Trick cards, floating scars, disappearing doves. Tim Swanson loves magic tricks. Someday he wants to be a real magician, just like his all-time favorite hero, Amazo, 'cause we're clever. But then Tim goes to a Mazo show, and he finds out his idol is a total grump. That's when Tim decides to steal the bag of tricks, Amazo's bag of secret tricks, scary tricks. The one with the multiplying red balls, and all those hissing snakes. Reader beware, you're in for a scare. Also available from R.L. Stine, Egg Monsters from Mars. We'll also have an advertisement on the front for the Goosebumps TV show. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you are not a kid during my generation. So let's see here. Bad Hair Day, Bad Hair Day. Here we go. Chapter 1. Pick a card, any card. I spread out the deck of cards in front of Sue Mailer. I actually almost read that as Mary Sue. Face down. She giggled and picked one. Don't show it to me, I warned her. She glanced at the card, keeping it hidden from me. A small crowd of kids gathered on the school steps to watch. School was out for the day. You could have just, put that in the same sentence, but whatever. Sue showed them her card. I love doing magic tricks, especially in front of an audience. My dream is to be a great magician like my idol, Amazo, who has a really shitty name. I've been playing around with stage names. My real name is Tim Swanson, but that's way too boring for a professional magician. Yes, I also know I say magician wrong. Live with it. I've been thinking of calling myself Swanzo. Dude, you can't copy somebody else. That's not how stuff works. My best friend Foz thinks Swanzo sounds like a laundry detergent. Now, Sue, I said in a louder voice so everybody could hear me, put the card back in the deck. If I can turn the page. She slipped the card in with the others. I shuffled the deck and tapped it 3 times. I will now make your card rise to the top of the deck, I announced. Tap, tap, tap. I picked up the top card and showed it to Sue. Was this your card? I asked her. Her eyebrows shot up in amazement. The 3 of clubs, she cried. That was my card. How'd you do that? Jessie Brown asked. Magicians never reveal their secrets. Unless you're the masked magician, I said, bowing. And now for my next trick. I know how he did it. My little sister Jenny suddenly popped up in the crowd. The sound of her scratchy voice made my hair stand on end. She loves to spoil my magic shows. But a true magician doesn't let anything throw him. I grinned my biggest, fakest grin at the little brat. Ladies and gentlemen, my lovely assistant Jenny. I'm not your assistant, freak face. Wow, your sister's a dick. Jenny snarled. You won't catch me doing nerdy magic tricks. I'm into karate. Hi-ya! She demonstrated her karate chop. And if she really was in karate, she'd know not to do that. I've taken karate. You don't show off your shit. You use it to defend yourself. Some of the kids laughed. I pretended to laugh too. Ha ha, isn't she a riot? Everybody says Jenny looks like an angel. She has long, wavy blonde hair, rosy cheeks, big blue eyes. People always ooh and ah over her. No one ever oohs and ahs over me. I've got curly light brown hair and hazel eyes. I'm 12, which Mom says isn't a cute age. My nose is long and curves up at the end like a hot dog. And now suddenly I'm imagining like a One Piece character. Jenny likes to flick the end of my nose with her finger and say, boing, oing, oing, for some reason. Her nose is small and perfect, of course. I tried to continue my show, Jenny or no Jenny. I slipped the deck of cards into my pocket and yanked out my magic scarf. Now, be amazed as I, Jenny, reached into my pocket and snatched out the cards. Look, everybody, she cried, showing them the cards. All the cards are the 3 of clubs. Wow, you... Not the guy telling the story, but your sister's an asshole. Like, look, I know siblings are dicks, but, like, did he and his parents never take the time to tell his sister to, like, you don't do that? Don't grab other people's the stuff in their pockets. Don't ruin what somebody else is doing. Don't be a dick. Wow, your sister's a bitch. You can go ahead and beat the shit out of her for ruining something that's supposed to be cute and fun. Jenny started passing the cards around so everyone could see. Hey, give those back, I protested. I grabbed the cards away. It was true, every single card in the deck was a 3 of clubs. But no one was supposed to know that. You're a phony, Sue mumbled. All magicians are phony. There's no such thing. Well, there is real magic, but magicians don't know real magic. They know parlor tricks. It's entertainment, not for real. That is so dumb. And of course... And I'm assuming this other girl is 12 too. She doesn't know magicians don't have real magic. No, wait, I cried. Watch this. I whipped out my magic rings, 2 large silver hoops hooked together. The kids quietened down a little. These silver rings are locked together, I declared. They're completely solid, linked together forever. Linked together forever. I tugged on them to show that they wouldn't come apart. Then I handed them to Jess. Try to pull the rings apart, I told him. He pulled hard. He pulled lightly. He pulled hard again. He jangled them around. The rings stayed hooked together. I looked back. I took them back. The rings will never come apart, I said, unless I say the magic words. I waved one hand over the rings. Hocus pocus. I gently pulled the rings apart. A couple of kids clapped. You're not going to fall for that old trick, are you? Jenny mocked. You want to know how he does it? Your sister's a bitch. She needs to quit. This is what makes magic tricks suck. Is the guy in the back going, oh, I know how he does it. You waste your money to watch a guy do. I'm just like, shut up. I know it's fake. That's not the reason I paid money to see a magic show. She grabbed the rings away and began to demonstrate. They're trick rings. I will now make my lovely assistant disappear, I cried, shoving Jenny aside. Beat it. Stop pushing me, she shouted. Hiya. She karate kicked me in the stomach. Your sister should be horribly punished for violating one of the rules of karate. She doesn't attack people, especially if they're her sibling. Just because she's being a dick. Just to be a dick. Oof, I doubled over. Everybody laughed and clapped. That's a great trick, Sue said. I clutched my stomach. Some trick. Stupid Jenny and her karate kicks. Why did Mom have to take her to that martial arts school? Because she wanted to go, I guess? My life has been miserable ever since. She's only 10, and she fights way better than I do. I've got the bruises to show it. Kick 'em again, somebody yelled. Jenny crouched, ready to attack. Try it, and I'll tell Mom where that dent in the refrigerator door came from, I warned her. She backed off. She knew Mom would kill her for karate chopping the fridge just because we were out of ice cream. Who does that? Who does that? If somebody physically violates in some form an inanimate, not only just a person, but inanimate objects too, there's something wrong with them, and they need to be taken to a therapist and get some good medication. She's not going to kick him, Jess said. Show's over. The kids drifted away. Wait, I cried. Come back. See you tomorrow, Tim, Sue said. Everybody began to head for home. Thanks for wrecking everything, Jenny, I snapped. She flicked my nose. Boing. Stop it. Your sister is a dick. Beat the shit out of her. She's an asshole. I swatted her away. You're definitely going to get it. I'm telling Mom about the fridge for sure. Go ahead, she taunted. But if you do, I'll give you the freezer chop. She waved her arms through the air, making those weird karate noises. Wet, wee, ah. Right to the neck. You'll never walk again. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about. Your sister's a dumbass. Throttle her. She trotted away. See you at home, Swanzo. This is what I have to deal with every day of my life. A little sister who could kill me if she wanted to. You don't know that, and you said she's 10 years old. Karate doesn't... Well, they do, kind of, but you're told explicitly not to do that, and if your sister is fucking stupid to do that to you, she's mental and will go to a special place for special criminally insane people. If she is dumb enough to use a kill move on you, she will not be able to have a normal life for the rest of her life. Not only that, but she'll fuck up her instructors' lives, the entire dojo's lives. Yeah, your sister is really smart. What can I do? I'm helpless against her. No, you're not. You kick your sister's ass. That's one reason I want to be a magician. Maybe Jenny can karate chop my arms off, but not if I make her disappear first. Maybe you should go to the special home for special people. I hear the white coats are nice people. I sighed and buttoned up my denim jacket. It was almost 4 o'clock and getting chilly. The wind had picked up too. When is it going to get warm, I wondered. It's the end of March. It's supposed to be spring already. The school door burst open. I'm out of here, Foz shouted. Foz's real name is Foster Martin, but he doesn't look like a Foster. He's a Foz. He's chubby with a brown buzz cut. His shirt is always untucked. Where have you been? I asked him. Miss Pratt made me stay after school, he replied, making making a disgusted face. Why? I asked. No reason, Foz said. Foz has to stay after school almost every day. He always says it's for no reason. I picked up my magic kit and started down the school steps. Foz followed. We left the school grounds and walked toward the town. You know, maybe you should tell parents about, him staying after school, and he won't say why. It could be because he's a dick. Could be, and he gets in trouble a lot. But, Miss Foz, disgusted face, made me stay after school. Why? No reason. Not like she did anything to me. I picked up my magic kit and started down the school steps. Foz followed. We left the school grounds and walked toward town. What were you doing at school so late? He asked. I was trying out a few magic tricks. Jenny told everybody how they worked. It was a disaster. You need better tricks, Foz said. Lots of kids have the same magic kits as yours. You're right, I agreed, rattling my kit. This is amateur stuff. I'm ready for some real magic tricks, professional ones. Like a hat you can pull a rabbit out of? That's not a question. Just a statement. Okay. Or that spinning box Amazo has, I added. Amazo was my hero, the greatest magician ever. Did you see him on TV last week? His assistant stepped into a big black box. Amazo spun it around 3 times, and she disappeared. He's doing a show at Midnight Mansion, Foz said. Midnight Mansion is a club in town where magicians perform every night. I know, I wish I could go, but the tickets cost $25. Actually, that's not bad. We turned onto Bank Street and headed toward the center of town. It wasn't on my way home, but Foz knew what I was doing. Malik's magic shop was on Bank Street. I stopped in there at least once a week just to drool over cool tricks they had. Malik has a bunch of new tricks, I told Foz, designed by Amazo himself. I'll bet they're expensive, Foz said. They are. I reached into my pocket to see how much money I had. $5. That'll buy you a squirting flower, Foz said. Maybe. I stuffed the bill back in my pocket. You've got to see this stuff anyway. There's a table. You put a plate or something on it. It can be anything you want. The plate will rise up over the table and float. How does it work? Foz asked. I don't know. Mr. Malik wouldn't tell me. He said you have to buy the trick to find out. How much does it cost? $500. Foz rolled his eyes. I guess you'll have to stick with card tricks. I guess, I sighed. A little bell rang as we opened the door to Malik's. I breathed in the musty smell of the shop. It was jam-packed with old tricks, new tricks, magic books, and costumes. There were even cages in the back for rabbits and doves. And kids can just go in here and buy crap? Mr. Malik sold everything. I called out, Hi, Mr. Malik. He stood behind the cash register. He was a short, bald old man with a fat stomach. I waited for Mr. Malik to say, What's new, Magoo? In his gravelly voice. That's how he greets all his regular customers. I called out, Hi, again, but he didn't answer. He just stood there and grunted. Mr. Malik? Foz and I crept closer to the counter. Mr. Malik grunted. He stumbled forward. Something was sticking out of his stomach. A sword. Mr. Malik, I asked, are you okay? He clutched the handle of the sword and moaned in pain. Someone had stabbed him. Help me, he groaned. Please, help. Okay, this adult is a dick. Foz and I froze in fear. I let out a gasp, but I was too frightened to move. Foz's whole body trembled. Mr. Malik uttered another groan. Then his expression changed. He pulled out the sword, and he tossed it to me. Hey, I cried, it's a fake. Mr. Malik laughed. He rummed around his stomach, which hadn't been stabbed at all. What's new, Magoo? He chuckled. Get a load of that trick sword. Just got it in today. I tested the sword against my own stomach. It had a sliding blade. I pushed the blade into the handle, then let go. It popped out again. Very cool. Foz fingered the blade. Think of the tricks you could play on Jenny with that sword like this. Like it, Tim? Mr. Malik asked. Only $20. My goodness. I shook my head. We're just looking, Mr. Malik. He hung the sword on the wall behind him. All right, take your time and look around. But would it kill you to actually buy something once in a while? Okay, as a store owner, you're a dick. Why don't you actually ask the kids how much money they're willing to spend and what they have for that price and what you have for that price? Mr. Malik always says that too. I wandered to the back of the shop. I checked out the rack of magician's jackets. I pulled a sparkly blue tuxedo jacket off the rack and tried it on. It had a trick sleeve for hiding things. This is a long chapter. I stared at myself in the mirror. I pretended to announce myself. The amazing Swanzo. Father shook his head in disgust. That name is so lame. Yeah, you're right. I thought of another name. How about Swanson the Magnificent? It's okay, Foz said. A little boring, but okay. He tried on a top hat and added, You need something cooler, like Tim the Destroyer. That sounds like a wrestler, I commented. At least it's not wimpy, Foz retorted, like Swanzo. Hey, boys, Mr. Malik shuffled toward us. He held out 2 tickets. Take these if you want them, he said. 2 free passes to Amazo's magic show tomorrow night. Wow, I cried. I took a ticket and read it. Admit 1, An Evening of Magic with the Great Amazo, March 23rd, 10 p.m., Midnight Mansion. Thanks, Mr. Malik. I can't believe we'll get to see Amazo in person, I gushed. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Foz frowned at his ticket. I can't go. My aunt and uncle are coming over. It's my mother's birthday. So this is a... Okay, granted, I know they're kids, but this is stupid. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Your mother has a birthday every year, but she's not alive every year. I know from experience. Foz stuffed the ticket into my palm, shaking his head. I know my mom, and she won't see it that way. Anyway, tomorrow night is a school night. I'd forgotten about that. I'd hoped my mom would let me go. 10 o'clock was pretty late to go out on a school night. She has to let me go, I decided. She just has to. What kind of horrible mother would keep her son from seeing his hero in person? Only a really mean, monstery mother. So you think. My mother is a grump, but she's not a monster. I took off the blue jacket and hung it back up on the rack. A large wooden box caught my eye. It was the size of a coffin, brightly painted with red and yellow stars. I lifted the lid. The box was empty, lined with blue velvet on the inside. What's the box do, Mr. Malik? I asked. That's for sawing people in half, Mr. Malik replied. I examined the inside of the box, trying to figure out how it worked. I found no secret compartments or panels or anything. How does it work? I asked Mr. Malik. Let me guess, we have to buy it in order to find out. You going to buy it? He demanded. Well, how much does it cost? $2.50. I can afford that. Mr. Malik waved me away and started toward the stockroom at the back of the shop. $2.50, he mumbled. In your dreams. He meant $250, Brainzo, Foz said. I tried to cover myself. I knew that. I was joking. Foz fiddled with a cool-looking trick in the corner. I moved closer to see. It's a guillotine, Foz said, for chopping off heads. The guillotine had a place for the victim to rest his head at the bottom, and razor-sharp blade at the top. Or supposedly razor-sharp blade. Mr. Malik emerged from the back room. I'm closing up soon, boys, he called. I just want to see how this works, Foz said. He twisted the lever on the guillotine. Foz, no, I cried. The blade slid down the guillotine and landed with a horrifying thwack. My hand, Foz shrieked. My hand. I need air. Okay, that's better. Mr. Malik gasped. I'll call an ambulance. 911. He grabbed the phone. The guillotine blade had sliced right through Foz's hand. He screamed in pain. Oh, Foz moaned. I cut off my hand. he wailed. I'll never ride again. I started laughing. Why are you laughing? Mr. Malik demanded. This is an emergency. No, it's not. Fuzz held up his hand to show that he was fine. Got a paper towel? I need to wipe off this fake blood. Fake? Mr. Malik stammered. Fake blood? We got you back for that sword trick, I said to him. Mr. Malik clutched his sweaty forehead in his hands. I'm so stupid. I know that it's a trick, Guillotine. Why did I fall for such a dumb joke? Hey, Fuzz protested. It was a lot funnier than your sword in the stomach joke. Not really. Mr. Malik wiped his brow and smiled. All right, boys, enough tricks. It's 5 o'clock. Get out of here. He shoved us toward the door. Thanks for the tricks, Mr. Malik, I called. See you next week. Sure, next week, when I'll have a new shipment of magic tricks you won't buy. The bell on the door jangled as we left the shop. Miles and I walked down Bank Street toward home. Sure you won't go to Midnight Mansion tomorrow night? I asked him. I can't. Your mom will never let you go either. I'll find a way, I insisted. You'll see. We paused in front of Fuzz's house. Come over to my house after school tomorrow, I said. I'm giving another magic show, only this time Jenny won't wreck it. I'll be there, Fuzz promised. And bring your sister's rabbit, I said. Fuzz shuffled to his feet uncomfortably. Fuzz shuffled his feet uncomfortably. Claire is not going to like that, he began. Please, Fuzz, I begged. I'm going to finish building my rabbit table tonight. The rabbit trick is going to be so amazing. I'll try to bring the rabbit, Fuzz said. But if anything happens to it, Claire will kill me. Nothing will happen to it. I promise. Words you should never speak. Never involve animals that are not yours, especially if you're not a trained professional. Where was I? I waved goodbye to Fonz and went home. The great Swanzini is here, I announced as I burst into the kitchen. You mean the great jerk, Jenny mumbled. No, that's your sister. She sat at the kitchen table, folding napkins. She reached up and flicked my nose. Boing, boing. Get off me, I slapped her hand away. Mom set a plate of chicken on the table. Go wash up, Tim, she ordered, and tell your father supper is ready. Look, Mom, I held up a quarter, then with a flick of my wrist, I slipped it up my sleeve. I made the quarter disappear. I showed her my 2 empty hands. Very nice. I see 2 hands that haven't been washed yet, Mom said impatiently. I saw the quarter go up your sleeve, Jenny answered. No one appreciates me around here, I complained. Someday I'm going to be the greatest magician in the world, and my own family doesn't care. Mom strode to the kitchen door. Bill, she called upstairs to my dad, supper. I made my way out of the kitchen to wash my hands. My parents didn't take my magic act seriously. They thought it was just a hobby. But Jenny's karate lessons were the most important thing in the world, of course. Mom always said girls need to know how to defend themselves, which is true. Now I needed to defend myself against my own sister. Girls also need to know not to be total douchebags. So do dudes. But anyway. I returned to the kitchen and sat down. Mom plunked a piece of chicken down beside the rice on my plate. Dad and Jenny were already eating. I had a terrible day at work today, Mom grumbled, ripping into her chicken. She's a high school guidance counselor. First, Michael Lamb threatened to beat up another boy. His teacher yelled at him, and he threatened to beat her up too. She sent him to my office. When I tried to talk to him, he said he'd beat me up. So I called his mother in, and she tried to beat me up. I had to call the police. What a bunch of dicks. Like, if that's how stuff works in that family's household, that kid needs to be taken away. And why are you just announcing this to your entire family? You have 2 kids sitting right there. It's none of their business. That's a piece of cake next to my day, Dad complained. Dad sells cars, Some guy came in and said he wanted to test drive the new minivan. I handed him the keys and he took off. He never came back. He stole the car. I sighed and shoveled rice into my mouth. Dinner is like this every night. Both of my parents hate their jobs. I had a really tough day today, too, Jenny put in. Michael Franklin teased me, so I had to karate him in the leg. I smirked. Poor you. Mom's forehead wrinkled. Her concerned look. You didn't hurt yourself, did you, Your daughter hit somebody for teasing them. They didn't hit her. They didn't try to do anything to her except smack talk her. Your daughter hit somebody. She's not defending herself. She's abusing what she learned. She should be punished severely. Didn't hurt yourself, did you, Jenny? No, Jenny replied, but I could have. No shit, Sherlock, especially when you're being a dick. If you hit somebody, they have the right to hit you back. As many times as you hit them. Enjoy. What about me? I protested. I'm the one who got kicked in the stomach, and it hurt a lot. You seem to be fine now, Dad chimed in. Your parents are dicks. Your parents are assholes. I gave up. I knew that arguing would get me nowhere. Mom and Dad always take Jenny's side. Granted, she's 10 years old, but if she's hurting people, if she's just outright attacking people, that is very much wrong. Is there any dessert? Jenny demanded. Ice cream, Mom answered. I'll clear the table, I offered, hoping it would put Mom in a better mood. I needed both Mom and Dad to be in a good mood, because I was about to ask a big question. Would they let me go to Midnight Mansion tomorrow night? Would they? The answer is no, so you're going to sneak out. Oh, wow, that's not a very long chapter at all. I stood up, collecting dirty plates. Guess what? Amazo is doing his act at Midnight Mansion tomorrow night. Mr. Mallet gave me 2 free passes. I held my breath, waiting for their answer. Excellent, Jenny cried. That means I can go too. I'm not taking you, I told her. I'll ask Mark or Jess or somebody. Anybody but you. I dropped the plates in the sink. They crashed but didn't break. Careful, Tim, Mom warned. Jenny slithered over to the sink and tried to hug me. Please, Tim, I'm your sister. I'm your only sister in the world. I'll do anything for... Bullshit! You fucking punched him in the stomach. You're an asshole. You don't deserve jack shit. You're a piece of crap. Oh my god, I hate this. I want to murder her so bad. Better. Neither one of you is going, Dad said quietly. It's a school night. But Dad, it's free, I protested. Just this once. Amazo is my hero. I'll never get another chance to see him in person. What time does this show start? Mom asked. 10 o'clock, I told her. She shook her head. Absolutely not. You're not going out at 10 o'clock on a school night, especially not to a nightclub. You're much too young. If he was too young to go, why did the magician guy at the shop give him tickets to go? That's fucking stupid. And if he can't go because it's a nightclub, which kids shouldn't go to anyway, which he would never be allowed to go to, being 12, he's got like 5-6 more years. Why give the pretense of maybe he can get whatever? This is stupid. You're much too young. She fiercely spooned ice cream into a bowl. Mom, please, I begged. I'm 12. I can handle it. You heard your mother, Dad said. You'll have other chances to see Amazo, Tim. Don't worry. Which is probably true, but I understand he's a kid. Mom offered me a bowl of ice cream. I don't want it, I grumbled. I stormed out of the kitchen. As I left, I heard Jenny say, Good, now I'll get 2 bowls of ice cream. Because your sister's a dick, and she should be punched in the face and punished for what she's done. Stupid Jenny, I thought. Stupid Mom and stupid Dad. My one chance to see my idol, the great Amazo, and they won't let me go. I wandered into the garage. In the corner stood a new trick I was building, the rabbit table. It was a square table that came up to my waist. The top had a hole in it that led to the secret compartment under the table. I planned to hide the rabbit in the compartment and cover the hole with my magic top hat. When I pressed the pedal to the front of the table, the bottom of the secret compartment would rise up. Then I'd lift my hat, and there would be the rabbit. The table was almost finished. I turned it upside down and hammered on the bottom of the secret compartment. This trick is going to knock everybody out tomorrow afternoon, I thought. I'll be almost as amazing as Amazo. Wow, you went from being upset that you couldn't go see Amazo to, I'm just going to work on this for now. I was so busy hammering I didn't hear the garage door open. Two baby blue high tops suddenly appeared in front of me. I didn't have to look up. I knew Jenny's smelly sneakers when I saw them. Go away, I commanded. She never listens to me. You going to do the rabbit trick tomorrow? She said. Uh-huh, now go away. Where are you going to get the rabbit? I set down my hammer. I'm going to turn you into a rabbit. Ha ha, she flipped her wavy blonde hair. You know that this table would be perfect for her? She asked, karate chopping. I bet I could chop it in half with one try. Try it and you'll watch, she taunted. What could I do to her? Not much. I'll turn you into a rabbit for real, I threatened. Oh, yeah? How are you going to do that? That's easy. Mr. Malik showed me how. Tonight, while you're sleeping, I'm going to sneak into your room and turn you into a rabbit. Give me a break, Jenny said. That is so dumb. Maybe not. I guess we'll find out tomorrow night. I picked up my hammer again. I hope you like carrots, I told her. You're crazy, she said. She hurried out of the garage. Well, I thought, at least that got rid of her for a while. I set the table on its legs again. All I had to do was paint it, and it would be ready. Wouldn't it be great? I thought as I opened the can of blue paint. Wouldn't it be great if I really could turn Jenny into a rabbit? But that was impossible, wasn't it? Well, I don't think I could continue to read this particular Goosebumps, mostly because Jenny's a bitch. And she pisses me off, and I'm not going to read a story where I don't like some character, because if I absolutely don't like the character, I'm not having a good time while I'm reading this story. And I'm not having a good time while I'm reading this story. So, yeah, I don't recommend this particular Goosebumps book. It kind of sucks because Jenny's an asshole. And that's really all I have to say. If you can make her less of a dick, I mean, granted, there are parents out there who are very irresponsible and stuff like that, so you could say, but this isn't being treated as bad. Her actually harming people isn't being treated as wrong or bad. Her ruining her brother's interests isn't being treated as wrong. It's just going out of their way to make this character's life suck. And I don't like characters like that, and I cannot support a story of any kind that makes a character's life intentionally horrible. When you write a story, unless you have some kind of moral that is going to come from the tragedy of your character's death. I mean, look at Romeo and Juliet. That is a tragedy. Shit happens and the characters' lives suck. But it's not the fault of the characters or some of the other characters around them. They have friends who actually help them. They have enemies who don't help them. They have people who don't understand what's going on interfering and sometimes accidentally helping them. And in the end, it's because they're stupid is why they kill themselves. And the moral of the story is, don't hate each other and don't fucking kill yourself. There's no lesson or moral here, and not to say you necessarily need to have one, but the lesson here is don't be a dick. Because this book is filled with dicks. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling because I hate the character Jenny. I mean, she's a piece of shit, okay? She's a piece of crap. And that's really why I'm saying no to this book, is Jenny is a fucking piece of shit. Supporting character or not, I hate her. Don't read this book because Jenny sucks. In fact, it's so close to Jenna that I'm about to murder things. At least one character realizes this is bullshit, and that would be the main character. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna let you go. I'm Caleb, and this has been Red Knot. Thank you for listening, everybody. Bye!